Hello, I'm Dr. Brandt Gibson, and I'm so excited to be here. I want to talk to you about how peripheral neuropathy is diagnosed. A lot of times people say, well, I think I might have peripheral neuropathy, and what I would like to do is give you some tools so you know exactly if you have peripheral neuropathy and how to check. So if you think you have peripheral neuropathy, if you have some symptoms, maybe numbness, tingling, burning pain, sharp pain, feel like an ice pick is stuck in your foot, or just the feet don't feel normal, then you can actually get a diagnosis of peripheral neuropathy through several different steps. Number one, you can do a minor nerve test. You can see if you can feel light touch. You can see if you can feel differentiate between temperatures. That can kind of give you a simple diagnosis. A lot of times, if you go to the doctor, they're going to use a really thin wire. It's called a Sims-Weinstein monofilament, and they will touch certain areas of your foot and say, can you feel that or not? And if you can't feel that, again, it confirms you have peripheral neuropathy. So that is usually all that most people will do, or maybe they'll be sent for a nerve conduction velocity test. And if the nerve conduction velocity test comes back and says that it's positive, they say, oh, you do have peripheral neuropathy. But I'm going to take you a step back and give you a little bit more information. So that initial nerve test is very valuable because it can show you if you have any form of peripheral neuropathy, most likely a sensory type neuropathy. But the nerve conduction velocity test can come back as negative, and you can still have peripheral neuropathy because there's four types. There's the large fiber sensor neuropathy, nerve conduction velocity test tests that. Small fiber sensor neuropathy, the minor nerve test that we were talking about tests those two sensory type neuropathies. But there's also a biopsy, a little punch biopsy of the skin called an epidermal nerve fiber density test that actually evaluates the number of small fiber nerves, so you can determine if you have a small fiber neuropathy or not. The third is a motor neuropathy. So if you have muscle weakness, if you have cramping and aching pains, this can be an indication that you have a peripheral neuropathy, even though you may not have the sensory, you only have the motor. That's possible as well. And then the fourth is an autonomic peripheral neuropathy. And with the autonomic peripheral neuropathy, you're going to do either a QSART or a pseudomotor type test. And these tests test through either an electrical stimulation or a stimulation of sweating to determine if your autonomic nervous system, the system that controls your automatic functions of the body, is working like it's supposed to. And if this is positive, you can have a peripheral neuropathy, even if you don't have a motor neuropathy or a sensory neuropathy. So you want to test all four to make sure that you know without a question whether you have a peripheral neuropathy or not. If you're only testing one, that doesn't rule out peripheral neuropathy, but it makes it less likely. You could have all four. So you could say, well, I've got a large fiber sensor neuropathy, I don't need to test the others. You could have a large fiber sensor neuropathy and a small fiber sensory neuropathy. You could also have a motor neuropathy. You could also have an autonomic neuropathy. A lot of times small fiber sensory neuropathy and autonomic neuropathy come together, but they don't have to. And so really what it comes down to is if you have symptoms and you're concerned about it, there's four things that you should test for. You should test for a large fiber sensor neuropathy. Best way, epidermal nerve the nerve conduction velocity testing. Small fiber sensor neuropathy. Best way is the epidermal nerve fiber density test. Motor neuropathy. The best way is muscle strength, balance, those kind of things. And number four is the autonomic neuropathy, pseudomotor, and QSART testing to confirm or refute that. So if you have a peripheral neuropathy or you think you might, those tests are valuable. Now, if you're saying this is interesting information, you're saying, okay, I need a little bit more, we are actually having a 5-day neuropathy challenge, neuropathy 5-day challenge this coming week. And it will start on Monday, and it will take you through the process of helping you understand if you have peripheral neuropathy, understand your peripheral neuropathy, manage the symptoms, control, basically create a pathway so that you can actually take back control of your life. I invite you to join us if you're interested. Go to neuropathychallenge.com and you can get additional information. This is Neuropathy Nugget Day 390. How is peripheral neuropathy diagnosed? Thank you for being here. We'll see you again later.